There's an old saying that those who fail to plan to fail. If you watch my last video, 92% of people fail to achieve the goals that they set for themselves. And if you went through that video, you know that one of the main reasons, one of the contributing factors is because people don't know the deep reason for why they set these goals in the first place. Now, if you did that, if you went through that exercise and you know your deep reason for why, now you have to have a plan. You have to understand how you're going to get from where you are today to where you want to go. You have the rocket fuel, you have the why, but how are you going to do it? You might have heard about this before, but you may not have actually gone through it. I'm going to give you everything that you need. It's creating a SMART goal. So SMART stands for specific, measurable, actionable, and attainable. There's two A's in there, actionable and attainable, relevant, and time bound. So let's start with specific. Let's say that you have the goal of I want to lose weight. Well, that's not enough. If you watch the other video, you know that that's not enough for another reason, which is you don't have enough rocket fuel to actually do the things that are going to be necessary for you to do in order for you to achieve your goal. But now that we're creating the plan, you also need to be specific in order to create the plan itself. So I want to lose weight becomes I want to burn fat around my belly so that I can see my abs, and I want to build muscle in my shoulders and my chest and my arms so that I feel strong and athletic like, your favorite soccer player or whoever it is that you aspire to have an athletic body like. So now you have a visual certainty of what you're after. It's specific. The second letter M stands for measurable. You need to be able to measure your progress as you're going along to achieving your goal. A statement you could make, I have it written here, is I'm going to lose 20 pounds of fat and get down to 10% body fat while building size in my shoulders and my arms through strength training. I'll measure my progress bi-weekly by stepping on a body fat scale and doing circumferential measurements with a Taylor's tape. So that's measurable. You're measuring bi-weekly and you have a measurable amount of weight that you want to lose. The next letter is A for actionable and attainable. First of all, you want to make it attainable. The video that I made on the 5 whys, I mentioned a story about a friend of mine who had a huge goal. It was attainable, but at the sacrifice of so many other things. So realistically, it might as well have been not attainable. If your goal is to be a billionaire, ask yourself the question, is that truly attainable? And maybe is there a smaller version of that I could start with? Maybe you start with making 6 figures. You want to make sure that your goal is achievable. If it is achievable, then you want to make sure that it's actionable. You want to know what steps you'll need to take in order for this goal to actually come to fruition. So I wrote down an example here. I can realistically achieve my goal of losing 20 pounds because I have given myself enough time to achieve my goal and I have a plan for doing so. My plan in place is I'm going to meal prep every Sunday from Monday through Friday. I'm going to strength train in the gym every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'm going to go for a 30-minute walk on every day that I don't train in the gym. Those are the action steps that you're going to take. The next letter is R for relevant. This ties back to the 5 whys video. Again, in that video, I mentioned that my friend had created a goal for himself that wasn't really relevant to him. He was trying to achieve something because he felt he needed to achieve it for other people. When he went through that exercise, he realized that the goal he had set for himself was not his goal. It was somebody else's, but he understood the reason why he set it in the first place, and now he could create a brand new goal that was relevant for him, that would give him the feeling, the experience, the end result that he was actually after. So I wrote down a sentence here for the example that we're using. Every summer, I feel like I have to keep my t-shirt on at the beach when I'm there with my friends. And at the end of summer, I tell myself that next year is going to be different. And I know that it would make a huge impact in my life if I achieve this goal. I would feel so much more confident in all of these social settings. And I really do want to upgrade my experience of life. I know that this is a huge factor for me. So that's relevancy, making sure that this actually is tied into your wants, your needs, and your true desires. And the last one is T for time bound. I think it's called Parkinson's law. A task will take the amount of time that you give it. So if you have a project and you give it a week, it's going to take a week. If you give that same project 3 months, it's going to take 3 months. You'll scramble at the end of that 3 months to finish the last little bits. A task is going to take the amount of time that you give it. Now, it still has to be achievable. So you couldn't lose 100 pounds in a week. You have to figure out how much weight can I realistically lose, and then set that as your time frame. If losing weight is your goal, if it's saving a certain amount of money, if it's finishing a certain level of schooling so you can progress in the next stage of your career, whatever it is, realistically give it a time frame for which you will work within. So I have an example that I've written here. I want to achieve this goal before June 1st. If I lose between 1 and 2 pounds of fat each week, which is totally doable, and I go to the gym 4 days a week, I will achieve this goal. So you have a specific time with which you are going to achieve this goal. And you know that you have milestones between today and the finality of the achievement of that goal, which is June 1st. In between, there are these milestones where you're going to be doing these weight check-ins to make sure that you're on track, and it's totally achievable that you can finish this goal, that you can complete this goal within that time frame. So that's a SMART goal. I hope this breakdown helps you out a little bit more, and you can see that this is another foundational step into creating a plan that will actually work for you. Now, these are just frameworks. You have to fill them in with your unique desires, your goals, challenges that you know you'll face, all of these sorts of things. But they do work, and I hope that you try it out. You might have heard this before, but maybe you haven't tried it out before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link below a document that I have that I've used with all my clients. It will help guide you through that process of creating a SMART goal for you. So I hope that this video helps. I really appreciate you spending some time with me and making it through to the end. If you have anything to add, I would love to hear from you below. I really do appreciate every one of you who leaves a comment. It makes my day. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then.